Welcome back. Now an interview with head football coach Mike Grossner. Here's Alex Dingman.
Thanks, Chris. I'm now joined by Baker's head football coach Mike Grossner. Thanks for joining us.
Good to be here.
All right, and so far just have 2 games under our belt here. He played Missouri Western a couple weekends ago, and that's a tough Division II opponent. Ended up coming out with a loss, but you felt like you pretty much physically manhandled them in that game. And then we come to play at home against Culver, and we dominate in the first half, 30-0, go on to win 40-14. Do you feel that your team right now can play with anybody in the country?
Yeah, I think that first week proved to our team and our coaches. I think we were kind of wondering what we had as a product, and we did. We went out, and Missouri Western was ranked in the top 20. They continued and won the next week and showed that they were a pretty good team, beating a team that had beat number 20 the week before. So everything adding up, we played real well against Western. We just turned the ball over. You can't hand them touchdowns. We handed them 3. And like you said, I think we were more physical. I think we out-hit them. We came away with no injuries, and usually when you're out-hitting a team, you're not getting hurt. And we felt good coming out. Offensively, we did some good stuff in that first week, other than the turnovers. And defensively, we held a good offensive football team to 250 yards. So we came out of that week 1 knowing we had a good football team. Maybe we're not into moral victories. We want to win. Yeah. So we were disturbed about the loss, but we felt like if we bring that kind of play into conference play against Culver Stockton, that would be successful.
Sure. Talk to me about Derek Dorfler, your outstanding kicker. He had a school record 57-yarder. I heard that in his summer internship this past summer he made a 72-yarder, which is unbelievable. Yeah. But just talk to me about how nice it is to be on your opponent's side of the 50-yard line, and you're pretty much already in field goal range.
It's a good feeling as an offensive coordinator, knowing that midfield you don't have to punt it, but you got a shot at points. And Derek's a funny guy. There's days, in fact, pre-game Saturday against Culver, I'm watching him kick, and he's not hitting anything. But everything's coming off his foot well, but it's right, left, nothing's going down the middle. And kickers, they're a little mental.
Sure, yeah.
That's probably 90% of the job. He's got the leg. He doesn't have to worry about that ever, but it's that mental aspect. So I was thinking, oh, whoa, here we go. But then Thursday before the Western game, and Wednesday, he goes 2 for 24. I charted him. That's not very good as a field goal kicker. In fact, we had Ryan kick a couple, so we were a little worried going into Western. Then he bangs a 49-yarder to start the game, and that's all he needed. So, you never know. All I know is he's got a great leg. He's got the right mentality for that job. He's kind of fearless and understands his role on the football team. And then, I think he's now 4 for 4 in his career. He hasn't missed as far as field goals. He did miss an extra point Saturday, but that wasn't his fault. The ball had fallen off the holder's hand. So what a weapon. 57 yards, that's good in any league. In fact, I know there's some people indirectly have called, from the upper leagues, they're wondering, who is this guy?
Yeah, I bet.
And I'm glad we have him for another year.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
All right, talk to me about this offense that looks like it's much improved from last year. You have a 3-pronged rushing attack. You got the bruiser in Frank Owens. You got a speedster in Richie Bryant. You also got the guy with all the moves in Blaine Crow. Plus, Mac Brown is looking a lot better. And we have outstanding wide receivers, even without Terrell Spain. So just talk to me about that offense.
Yeah, we've added some weapons, and we've gotten older. I think we were real young last year, and it showed at times, a lot of times. Mac understands the offense. He is in tune with what we want to do during the game. So is Kendall Bradley. I mean, when he stepped in there, he's done a nice job so far this year. So I think we got 2 good quarterbacks. Those 3 running backs, we had a question mark which one was going to bring it. We were hoping it was by committee, and it is right now. I think, Big Frank is running as hard as anybody we've ever had. And he's tough to tackle later in the game. Early those DBs are coming up and hitting him, but later they don't want any part of him. And then you throw in Richie's speed. We're throwing the ball out of the backfield to Richie and giving him the ball. He's going to get better and better running the ball. And then you throw in a nice package with Blaine Crow, a freshman that we knew that he had the talent. We just didn't know stepping up to the collegiate level, reading your blocks, doing all the different things that you need to do in the pass game. And he's done it. Every time he's stepped in there, he's given us some big plays.
All right, we talked about the offense. Let's talk about the defense a little bit. Brad Page has done an outstanding job so far. An interception against Missouri Western, an interception versus Culver Stockton. Not a bad way to start the season. Eric Allen also got a pick. The team as a whole held Culver Stockton under 70 yards rushing. So that defense is looking real deep and improved even without Andrew Patch.
Yeah, you know, they all have roles. I don't think we have a lot of superstars on defense, but they play well together. Our linebacking crew is as good as anybody. All three of those guys know where each one is going to be. And, of course, Brad Page being a senior, I'm proud that he's going out in style as far as being in the right position, making the pick, return one for a touchdown. Oh, yeah. We've got a kind of running joke in practice. I walk over and mess with the linebackers about who's going to make a play this week, and boy, they've made some plays. And then Eric Allen, I knew if they throw to him enough, he's going to make some plays over there. I think our overall secondary's improved as well. That helps us. Culver had a pretty good passing package going and it hurt us in certain ways, but didn't make some big plays on us. And our defensive line are kind of the unsung hero in two games. You know, two teams have tried to run it on us, and they haven't had success. And that's Philip Weinmaster, Levi Calhoun, and then we had a big question mark with it without Andrew Patch this year. Who's going to step up at D end? And Brad Timmage has done a great job. Kyle Weinmaster is going to fill in great there and give. You know, I think they're going to split time by the end of the year. They're just two good football players that we have to have on the field. And then you look on the other side, Alpheus Williams has stepped up. We moved him to linebacker in the spring. He had trouble in space, put him back down on the D-line. He's wreaking havoc. And then you got Lars Lucier, who's a big, strong DN, that against some run teams, we could utilize him as well.
I know a lot of people were excited about Tyrell Spain coming, and then he hyperextends his knee early on, and hadn't seen any playing time yet. What is his condition, his mindset for the rest of the season?
He had a very serious injury. We were real close to surgery. He had an LCL, which is an outside ligament sprain, and it wasn't far enough that it tore. So we nursed him through it the last 2 weeks. I think he probably could have gone Saturday, but we were just, you know, until he's 100%. He's one of those guys that he wants to be out there full speed. He doesn't want to get caught from behind. You know, when we get him in the open, he wants to show his true physical ability. So I think one more week of rest has helped that situation. He'll be close to 100% this week.
Well, that's good. Good luck to you against Lindenwood this weekend. Always a tough opponent for you guys, but hopefully you can pull off another victory. Thanks for joining us, Coach.
Thank you.
That was Alex Dingman with head football coach Mike Grossner. That'll be the end of our show for this week, but please tune in next week as we'll have more footage from your Baker Athletics. I'm your host, Chris Campbell, for KNBU.